Hello, I'm Gary Wright from Finextra and I'm here at Sibos 2015. I'm joined today by FB from EPAM. Thank you very much for joining me today. Now this week at Sibos we've heard a lot about the blockchain and API banking. So what's your view on this?
I think you cannot have a discussion without having somebody throwing the blockchain buzzword into the discussion. And just my view is that right now there's a lot of buzz. People start to understand the technology, but right now we not yet really understand the usage of this technology and how we're going to apply it. Also, there are fundamental questions which are raised by blockchain itself. How people are going to do that, how are they going to apply it, what use cases are most practical and where it's really effective. At the same time, people start to talk about API banking, especially because we are entering the era of Internet of Things. But API banking really brings another question to the surface. Is a bank a technology company, or it's a technology company whose business is running a bank, right? Or they are not a technology company and their business is not being in the technology. It's a cultural shift. And right now people really need to address this fundamentally, need to understand what they're going to do with it, and they will adopt it culturally, the way they're running their business. Because you cannot adopt these two technologies without fundamentally addressing this issue.
So what are the challenges for financial institutions when it comes to implementing blockchain and API banking?
The challenges is going back to its culture itself. First of all, they need to adapt to a culture which is developers or development culture like. So they have to, the customers, if they want to implement APIs, the customers have to become the developers itself. They have to become a technology company, which is a big cultural shift, which is, I think it's harder than it looks. So cultural shifts are typically much harder to implement than simple apply a new technology. The second, both of them requires real adjustments to their back office, real adjustments to their core solutions and the whole stack. In order to really implement the API banking, you need to give up fundamentally your customer, because you will becoming a platform. In a platform play, you are not a customer focused. You are actually providing a platform on which other people are going to innovate on. When you are trying to adopt the blockchain, you need to really start thinking, what is the transition? How do you transitioning from into a distributed ledger environment? And during the transition, how do you adopt this technology? And once you've done that adoption, how are you going to take out the existing piece? Because otherwise you just have to maintain two pieces of technology. Both cases, you need to invest massively into the technology.
So given that, what steps do you think that financial institutions should take when implementing the blockchain and API banking?
Right now, they need to watch the space, especially in blockchains. They need to start watching the space and need to understand and need to start thinking about how they're going to implement it. They don't have to jump yet, but they need to create some small groups who really understand blockchain technology, maybe start collaborating with other partners and start introducing it. API banking is a harder problem to crack. API bank, due to regulatory change, it's going to be forced upon the banks to adopt an API-based banking. So they need to start thinking hard and in an agile fashion, what APIs to expose right now, how they're going to go about it, and what governance processes they're going to put in place. Because once you expose an API, you have to adhere to it. You cannot just change it. You need to build a loyal developer community. So some banks are already doing that. They are exposing the APIs, they are arranging hackathons, they are giving challenges across the world. Most banks have to start doing that, and they need to find a platform on which they can actually do this. They have to introduce the developer community, and the developer communities need a portal, they need a space where they can collaborate with the banks and can actually launch these applications. Because most people don't want to end up with 20 different apps. They want to have a seamless experience. So even as you introduce all these APIs, the applications have to collaborate with each other, what people are developing on top of that.
So thanks very much, FB, for joining me today, and thank you very much for watching.